So this new movie has kind of just exploded on the internet recently, and very quickly it's become known for being very provocative and extremely politically incorrect. And that's to put it mildly. It's ruffled all the right feathers. So, and its release has had quite the reaction. I mean, like not quite rolling out the red carpet. Well, unless it's just been sodden red with blood. Now, it's exploded on X due to Elon Musk showing it for free for 48 hours on his platform, and he's done that because it's reportedly been banned in certain countries, Germany being one of them. So, safe to say it's caused a bit of a furore with polite society. Question is, does it deserve its much maligned reputation? Now, I don't know for sure, but I think this movie recently has had a rare 0% on critic Rotten Tomatoes, so yeah, tough crowd with the noble and esteemed critic class. But let's be honest, their opinions are about as like worthless as Anne Frank's drum set. But do they have a point at all? I mean, or is it just unadulterated pulp movie fun that only dour party pooper critics just don't like? Well, I think it's a mix of both, in honesty. Like, firstly, I love that it's just exploded into the mainstream's consciousness and pisses all the right people off because, whatever you think of it, it absolutely is a ballsy movie. No doubt about it. It must have took some courage to make this, like, knowing what the reaction could be to it. I mean, honestly, really is just one long fed post in essence. I mean, it's the kind of thing that could honestly just be like wholesale banned and censored. So I'm glad that it's broke through and like gained cult status already. But like, is the movie any good? I mean, honestly, I just think it's okay. I feel like the first hour is a bit of a mess, honestly. Like, there's no real narrative thread, like, to keep the whole thing together. I mean, there are quite a lot of confusing scenes, like just the random sex scene and sort of clumsy exposition scenes that allude to his character more, but don't really make any sense. Like, you never really understand like the deep motivations of the character. He just kind of feels one-dimensional. Like, there's no compelling character development in regards to the main character. I mean, really, the first hour I was like feeling, well, like, apart from being a bit confused, like the movie's almost kind of like semi-parodic in a sense. Like, it feels like it could be mocking, the alt-right and what it depicts as this kind of vicarious vigilante fantasy. Like, just the way the movie's shot almost made me feel like, is this like taking the piss? I mean, is it like just pure Whitesploitation that's kind of self-aware and ironic? Like a bit like Starship Troopers movie, like how it lampoons the sort of fascistic undertones to its own narrative origins, a bit like it's quite being smart like that. I mean, like the first scene, I wasn't quite sure what to think. It's like just this woman and her kid walking out, and then all of a sudden, like a person of colour just like randomly stabs her in the neck, and she just sort of thrashes around, and there's blood spurting everywhere, and then there's no introduction to it. It all just sort of happens quickly. It just sort of seems a bit gratuitous for the sake of it. But then, like, as the movie progresses, I just started to realize that it's not satire. I think it's just the director's innate style. Like, and this is uweboll, by the way. And he just is gratuitous, and honestly, not known for being like the best director in the world. So everything kind of feels almost a bit like a teenager's kind of revenge fantasy. Like, it's not necessarily Whitesploitation in a self-knowing, like ironic sort of way, but more kind of just like genuine like alt-right agitprop, which is like I'm all for it. Like, to be honest, like, why not? We don't get like many movies like in our name, so like no matter how bad the movie might be, like you just have to sort of like proudly claim it. Like you get what you're given. It doesn't matter if it's a great movie; it's our movie. So good to have uweboll on board, I suppose. Like, even if some say he's the worst director in the world, it's a start for us, humble beginnings and all that. So, but as I say, like, I don't think the movie is bad, and like this is mostly due to the fact that, like, I think the last 20 minutes or so of the movie, like, it does kind of hang together somewhat. It stops being just a kind of jumbled mishmash of bloody mayhem and gratuitous sex and confusing backstory scenes, and instead it actually like strings bloody violent scenes, but together in a coherent sequence. And so it starts to have a bit of a flow, thankfully. The thing that keeps it together is like Not that the main character becomes narratively relatable at all, but there's this kind of like hoary sense of like vicarious vigilantism that you get carried along a bit by, and it does really go for it. I mean, like towards the end, he goes on like a killing spree and kidnaps a judge like outside a court and murders him, and then he basically kills an entire rapist migrant family and all their friends, and you get a sort of bit of a rush out of it, dare I say, with it. So it's a satisfying bloody denouement, right? And much better than like gay Django Unchained, anyways. So now, is it as good as other movies in the revenge movie genre, like Death Wish? No, I don't think so. Like, it doesn't have the pacing, style, or narrative coherence of a movie like that. But it's not half bad. Like, the first hour, as I've said, it's a bit all over the place. It's kind of confusing, inchoate, mush of scenes, but it does pick up towards the end, even if the anti-hero is just sort of like daft and paper thin. Like, overall, it's a fun, kind of silly popcorn movie that's an uncomfortable watch if you've got like any liberal friends watching it with you. Which, if you've got normie friends at all, definitely watch it with them. Like, there'll be more than just like raised eyebrows throughout, and I'll be surprised if they get all the way through to the end of it. But like, who knows? Like, you might red pill an innocent hatchling friend, so it'll all be worth it. And who knows? Like, we might see a kind of new whitesploitation genre as a result. Like, lots of movies being made depicting the death of Europe, right? I mean, trash movies being made en masse will probably just end up trivializing the mess that Europe's in, but I still think that Citizen Vigilante being made is a very good thing overall, and I'm glad that polite society thinks it's trash. I mean, they think it's like like Daily Mail, like vile propaganda, or they're just so like, you're like over it, like what a boring movie, so over it, and that's good, right? That's good because I mean, I don't think it's a great movie, but I'll defend it publicly as if it is. Like, I'm glad that it's tried. And uweboll, like, bless him, even though his movies are like universally bad and exploitative, I think even if seemingly shallow, at least he seems to care about the rape of Europe and its like plunder, like, and that he has the balls to just make like a fucking feverish, like, fucking wig that movie for us. Like, it's a guilty pleasure. I mean, honestly, several years ago when I was like terminally online, avid millennial woes enjoy it, like many of us are. Like, this would have been like fantastic back then, but yeah, it's better late than never, I suppose. So, congrats to uweboll, for achieving huge malignment and infamy with his movie. Thanks for making it for us, and hopefully we get some more, dignified and illustrious directors, dare I say, start to look a bit jealously over the shoulder at his success and go quietly, well, there's some creative room here to make, great movies, like even revenge movies in this vein. Who knows? Like, you might even get other Euro Gen X filmmakers come out of the woodwork, with this kind of frenetic filmmaking style of like movie making. Imagine if like someone like Luc Besson came along and make a revenge movie like this, But we'll see. Hopefully, Citizen Vigilante opens a few eyes as to the reality of the situation in Europe and inspires others to do the same. Not go on killing sprees, hasten to add. I mean, just making based movies, fellas. So, that's it. With that, thanks for watching my vid, and thanks for watching Citizen Vigilante as well, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you later.